What's up?
What up?
What up? You might notice the background looks a lot different. We're in a different studio today. We're gonna call it a studio, even though it's a kitchen. Hey, you know what? We're just gonna rock today.
Hey,
we got this.
We're Chorizo Bros.
We're the Chorizo Bros. We just ate chorizo. It's fine. No, welcome back, everybody. We are doing today's episode. If you can't see the kind of setup that we have here, we got the Giger book. We have these alien books. We just came off of doing a Ridley Scott movie. To do another Ridley Scott. We didn't plan that. It just kind of happened that way.
Yeah,
we're talking about Alien today, you guys. I have been really excited to get started with this. I think there's some cool stuff to go over. We'll do it in true Chorizo Bros fashion. I think starting off always, we have the expectation that everybody watching has seen the movie already.
Yes.
I'm going to kind of hand it off to these guys and get their opinions on the movie and if you should go out and watch it or if it were positive vibes, negative vibes. And then we'll just go in a spoiler discussion. We're just going to kind of talk about what we feel like.
Yeah.
If you guys are good with that.
I'm good with that. You want to go or do you want me to go?
Yeah, I'll go first.
Yeah.
I love the movie. The movie's good. Good action. I like the scenery. Like kind of reminds me of Blade Runner. Has the same feeling, the same setting. I mean, it's quicker. It moves
it's
fast.
much quicker, yeah.
Yeah, it moves quick, and so. But I do love it. I recommend people to watch it. The first Alien, and also the second one. I mean, but the first one is good to watch.
I think we're gonna more concentrate on the first one, but yeah, I agree. The second one is the sequel is different, but it's still good.
It's great, bro.
Yeah, right. I mean, pretty much the same thing. I mean, Aliens. It's just an overall really well done,
very well done
movie.
Yeah.
The execution is very good.
Yeah, I don't see a lot of like dated CGI or, because sometimes I feel like with some of the movies in the 80s, you get a little bit of that. I think a lot of the way that they did this film, it'll stand the test of time for a long time, and it has.
Probably like towards the end, it was a little cheesy because like it looked like a little doll, but other than that, it looks real good.
Yeah. I mean, for the most part, it's a wonderful movie. The storyline's really good. I think even just like the cinematography too is pretty spot on. I think it's actually really, if you really think about it, it's not a very colorful film, but it's actually really beautiful. It's not a film that needs to have a lot of color to be beautiful. I think that the way they shot it,
that's cool.
Some of the shots they do are pretty beautiful in my eyes.
I actually like the atmosphere in this one more than Blade Runner, even though the best part of Blade Runner was the atmosphere and it was the visuals and it was the music.
Yes.
I actually think the music was kind of terrible in this movie, believe it or not. Overall, love this movie. Almost 10 out of 10. It's great.
Yes.
But if I had to do some criticisms, I noticed as I was watching it, and I've seen this movie a few times when I was younger, but on this most recent rewatch to get ready to talk about it with you guys, watching it, the music doesn't sound like it matches. And if you guys happen to watch the movie again, make note of that, just so that I don't sound like a crazy person, because it does sound. It almost. I am a little bit. I'm not gonna pass the void comp test.
He's an android.
The music in this almost sounds like it comes from like a Spielbergian, like E.T. Like it's really plucky and fun at points, and you might not notice it, but it stood out to me.
To be honest with you, I didn't really pay.
Because think about it like this:
but
when you watch Blade Runner, you could tell like the jazz kind of sets the tone. In
but
this, you might not have thought
also,
about it.
Also, it was a little like when you said it was slow paced. That's why you kind of pay attention to everything.
Yeah, that's
this
true.
one had a little bit more like a storyline and background, a little bit more action.
Yeah, because it was like I was more involved in like, oh my gosh, this is happening, or the suspense. I wasn't really thinking about the music.
I feel like the music, and it was just it's a very small criticism and an overall great movie. It's just I was kind of like I was like, man, this music is really strange. It doesn't feel like it fits. Maybe the first thing, if you guys would allow me to kind of jump in with a topic that we can kind of start off with, was, and I'm not saying this to be like annoying or whatever, but like y'all know, those of us that have been watching, those of you, Kennedy and Matt, the only couple people that watch the videos, those of you that
thank you
thank all of you.
Thank
you guys are all awesome. But on watching Prey, I obviously was not in love with it, and I joked about it a lot and whatever.
Yeah.
And one of the things about this movie, Alien, is one of the criticisms I had of Prey was that it was really shoving the female protagonist down your throat and like this proto-feminism weird vibe, and this isn't a political channel at all. It was something I noticed that irked me. This, I think, was written how a female protagonist should be written. All the guys that doubt her, they doubt her for the way you would working with somebody, sarcastically, not really wanting to listen to them because they're your superior. You didn't get the vibe that they treated her different because she was a woman.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. You didn't find she didn't do martial arts against the alien. The way that Ripley solves problems was through intelligence,
logic.
Yep.
Yeah. She has every reason, and she exhibits different kinds of bravery against the monster, of course, but also like she gets in an uncomfortable position where her boss decides to do something that's really dangerous and against the law, bringing in the guy that's got the face thing.
Yeah,
she tells him,
and
like,
she gets in his face.
Yeah, she's like, if you were in my position, you'd do the same thing.
Yeah. Well, she tells him, like, you're gonna do this. It's
I didn't like
illegal.
the fact that Dallas didn't have her back. Like I didn't like
that.
I didn't
of
like
course,
the fact,
right.
Like,
because he's actually a very likable character.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, Dallas.
It would have been really cool to have him like support her. I get that.
Yes, he didn't really support her.
Well, had he supported her in that, there'd be no movie.
That's true, exactly.
So yeah, you're right.
So right, again, it's just that, you have to make mistakes in order for a story to move along. But the way they maybe could have done that to where you don't think he's just he's dumb and made a bad mistake is they could have made it to where like that character that gets the thing on his face. If they show him and Dallas having a really close friendship, or they have a conversation where they're like, man, we've been doing this for damn near 20 years now, or like, somebody that you're really like, you're not just a coworker with, but like a best friend.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So then when that happens, the reason he doesn't follow protocol is because it's like, that's my best friend. Like, I can't leave him out there. Yeah. I think that would have made it.
I think it would have been also cool too. Like, let's say Dallas was very supportive of Ripley, right? Like maybe they, everybody doubts her, right? But he's the only one that doesn't. And then he's the one that gets the, I think it's called the xenomorph or something. I don't remember what those things are called. But
the alien itself is called a xenomorph.
Okay, that's before
they call the spider looking thing. They call them face huggers, but
okay, whatever. So that'd be kind of interesting. Like, let's say he was super supportive of her, and then he's the one that gets it, and so like throughout the whole story, you're like, man, that was the only guy who could have really helped Ripley, throughout this whole movie, but he's the one that gets,
because Parker and the other guys are engineers, right? They're the ones who are running the ship, make sure the gas is going.
You're talking about
you're talking about the guy with the cap.
Parker and Brad or Pig.
I don't remember the black guy and the guy with the trucker hat.
Those dudes are funny.
Those guys are funny.
He all cared about the bonus. He's like, it's not fair.
Well, it felt realistic because these guys are truckers. Like, you understand that, right? Like that, their job out there. Like when the movie first starts and the Nostromo's out there, they are not just like explorers. They're mining, so they're bringing cargo back to Earth.
Yeah, and it
says at the beginning of Nostromo, it's got like 2 billion or 2 million tons of something, and you're like. And then the way they present them and the way they converse with each other is like they're working dudes. And the fact that they're complaining about the money, they're going, we need to talk about our shares. We need to do this.
Right.
That's very much, they're truckers. They're literal truckers.
Because they were in charge of making sure everything, like the boost works, that the gas is piping right.
They're the guys that keep the ship up and
running.
They're like the mechanics.
The mechanics, there you go. I don't know, I love those guys.
Oh, the relationship between those two is really good.
See,
awesome. You could see one of them getting hurt and then the other one getting pissed. Like, if one of them got the face thing and then they would have been like, no, we're let him in. But that's not. But what actually happens when they get the face hugger guy in and they put him in the thing and what's the black guy's name?
Parker.
Is it Parker?
Yeah.
He's like, why don't they freeze him?
Yeah, dude. Yeah, that's a really reasonable thing to do.
That is
so
super smart.
As far as writing, that was really good because it is sort of exhibiting that they all have their own intelligence. They all have their own sort of, and like you don't really disagree with any of them. You know,
I
they
see
get
what you mean,
annoyed with
yeah.
the one guy that lets the cat get away, but like
Yeah, oh, yeah.
And that's kind of how life is, you know. Like you always go back and like, man, we should have handled it this way, but in
that
that
this is where we
situation-
fucked up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And you know they didn't know
The
that the thing
replay.
was gonna jump out of his chest or whatever, you know. So, you know, it
I know,
doesn't-
and that's also too like weird. Like you think he's normal, and you're like, come on, there was something in his face the whole time. Like, how would you let him out of the little room that he was in? Feed him through the door or something. You don't know yet what's like studies.
Yeah, there was
letting
like,
it in it was a really bad idea.
Yeah,
Yes.
Ripley.
Well, like
was
you
the-
said, if they didn't do it, there's no movie. Like you said.
Yeah.
Like, but yes, I didn't like. How can I say it? What I don't like about like Dallas, never like had her back, never agreed with her. Like, hey, look, I'm just the captain of the ship. Those guys are the scientists. Like he's in charge.
Yeah,
Ash,
he-
I think his name is Ash.
Yeah,
Who was actually an android.
A
like-
replicant.
When I didn't see that.
We-
Then, go ahead.
No, have we all seen this movie before?
Younger art has
Like when we were
very-
younger?
yeah.
Did-
No,
is this the first time you've seen this? Is watching it right before now?
No. I've seen it like I don't know, maybe a couple years ago for the first time. So, but you know,
It,
What were you saying? Because I was
but what is it the same person who directed the Blade Runner?
yes,
yeah.
Oh shit, that's
we
why-
did that. It was a complete accident. I was just talking about Alien.
So that's when she's about to that towards like almost when taking off the ship before the ship blows up. It says purge, and also like the same technology in Blade Runner. When he's about to purge out of the plane. It says purge on the thing on the same screen.
Oh yeah, there's
does it?
definitely
Yeah.
Oh,
like
that's cool.
It has like similar.
cross-
there's visual references.
Yeah, visual reference. Yeah, there
Yeah.
you go. And I was like, when I saw it, I was like, man, why does it feel like I've seen this before? Like,
So-
like the replica of the same.
Yeah.
But like you said, this one was more. Alien was more of a fast-paced movie, as like.
Well,
Blade
it's a horror movie.
So
Yeah,
yeah,
it's
it's a
for
horror.
sure.
Yeah, that's true. That is a horror.
It's a horror.
Dude,
That's-
it's a scary film, dude.
Yeah.
It's a scary film.
Really?
It's a horror. It's
I
a
think
horror
it's a scary
movie.
film.
Oh, it's much scarier than Exorcist.
No way.
Oh, yeah.
Come on.
I don't know.
Oh yeah.
I don't know.
I
Maybe.
think, dude, come on. I think The Exorcist is scary.
We rewind the tape. Go back
Okay,
to Exorcist
okay.
episode. You talk shit about you. It's goofy.
It
it's
is.
this, it's this.
Okay, art,
Yeah,
bigger
that's
art.
true.
Yeah, bigger art is. Yeah, I think it's goofy, but younger art that was scary to me. Alien.
I'm not saying
When
I
I
was
was younger,
scared of Alien.
I
I'm
wasn't
saying
scared.
it's a horror movie. It's like
It's terrifying, dude.
it's scary.
Well,
the
it's
idea of
considered a horror
an alien
movie.
life form in a small cramped ship,
Yeah, dude.
and you don't know anything about it.
like
Well-
like when the egg opens up, dude. It's just
Oh,
really
then-
creepy.
when they
and like
land.
even like you can kind of see it in the egg like moving a little bit. I'm like, dude,
I
that's
guess if you
freaky,
imagine
bro.
seeing that in real life, like that would be like, oh shit, I never seen something.
Because the good thing, the really cool thing about this film is yeah, it's sci-fi and yeah, it's obviously
I
not
thought it
real,
was a
but
sci-fi movie.
when you watch
It's
a movie,
horror movie with
Yeah.
sci-fi paint.
yeah, when you watch a movie, you have to buy into it, and this movie sets you up for it beautifully. Whereas I feel like some other movies don't. You know what I mean? It's kind of some of these horror films I think nowadays are kind of just like you don't really get a sense of the characters. It's not like an ensemble. It's more of like, oh, there's this monster or there's this scary thing and it's going around killing people or whatever. And that's kind of what Alien is, but the way they set it up really nice. I think it works.
Real quick, so that scientist guy whose name is Ash or something, who was a drone or an android, did he did he plan that? Like make him go do that rescue, go down to that little place to the ship? Did they found like some living form? Like because look at it, he wanted to keep it alive. He didn't want to. Like he wanted to study.
Yeah, so one thing I thought about the movie is that there's two things I thought about it. I think it's like, how nowadays it's all about AI and people are, AI is going to take over the world.
Yeah.
I was thinking about it like, okay, Alien is like, this is a way that AI could potentially wipe out the human race. So like the android, he's obviously technology, and then also the ship is called Nostromo, but there's this like mega computer in there and it's called Mother.
Yeah.
And so like I was thinking, okay, Mother is the brain of the whole operation.
Yeah.
It's, I guess, programmed or maybe it's self-intelligent to wipe out the alien life form, which is humans. and the way they do that is by getting this
alien back.
alien into, they want this to go back, and so that's what I was like, I wonder if that could be something. I don't necessarily think that's
because the mother
what
the mother was the one who told him to, hey, go see what's going on with that.
Right.
And what's his name? Ash was like, yeah, let's bring him in the ship. Like he was like, no, we gotta say like
because he was like programmed. I guess there was like a distress signal. Right?
Yeah, something was,
and so
like it was like living form. That's what they had to.
And that's why they all woke up from their little cryo sleep or whatever. And so they have to go rescue them. But I think even Ripley says, I don't think it's not an SOS. It's like a warning.
I didn't hear that part.
Yeah. She's like, this is not an SOS. This is a
well,
warning.
That's after they're already finding the eggs.
Right.
Okay.
And she's like, I'm gonna go tell him, and he's like, by the time you get there, they're gonna know if it's a problem.
So the whole time she was like, there's something up with this, and nobody like listened to her.
Well, it's freaky because, okay, so in this future, you don't really know. It doesn't really spell it out as to whether or not humanity already knows about other life forms on other planets. It doesn't really spell it out if these guys know there's aliens existing or not. Not specifically these aliens, but a type of alien. Did you guys get the feeling that they knew about aliens? Because they didn't seem that concerned. They were like, oh, there's an alien life form here. They didn't seem like blown away that we're not the only intelligent beings out there. They didn't seem that, like, shocked by it, or it almost is as though, yeah, there's other aliens maybe.
Well, I think that the fact that thing was on his face, I think maybe downplayed their natural reaction to that.
I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about because when they go to that planet, right before they find the eggs, there's that thing that's connected to the. Oh, yeah. It looks like a gun or a telescope or something.
They weren't.
And you see its face, and it's huge.
Yeah.
And they're like, it's fossilized. It's been here for a long time. And they're like, the bones on his chest are broken, like something popped out of him. Mm-hmm. That's an alien.
Yeah.
And they don't seem that's concerned by it.
That is true. Yeah.
I'm talking about that alien.
Right. I see what you're saying.
Like, they don't seem that like oh, maybe this is something like this has happened before in humanity's history, because this takes place in the future.
Yes, it's the future.
Right.
But I don't know. Like I think I'm with you. I like how like maybe they were cahoots, and they make them go down there to bring this alien back home.
So you think? No. Well, what? They're not in cahoots. He's following orders.
The android is just a puppet of Mother. That's what I.
Yeah.
That's what I.
Well, it's a puppet of the corporation they work for.
That's another thing too.
So that's kind of one of the themes about this is the idea of the horrors of capitalism. Again, we're not a political channel, but there's
is that more
something to be said about
in this one or the second one.
We're not going to talk about the second one.
Right, but I don't remember. I don't really get the vibe of like the corporation much in this one.
There's corporation vibes in both. It is very critical. It's criticizing the idea of corporations in this movie pretty heavily, because they decide. Ash is told to bring the life form back, and then it says whenever he's looking at Ripley goes and looks at it, she's like, "What the fuck are y'all talking about? I need to see what's actually. I'm missing something, and if I knew this, I could figure this out."
Yeah.
And she looks at what Ash and the thing have been talking about, Mother, and it says crew expendable, and then she gets pissed. So that's not Ash deciding that those people don't matter. Those are his orders.
And he's a machine too, so
yeah.
He's less likely to care.
Yeah.
But it's the corporation that's deciding crew doesn't matter if y'all bring that specimen back.
Yeah. As long as the specimen
because they can utilize it, and what they decide to do, what the company ends up deciding to do is not just study it and whatever, but they ended up wanting to use it as a biological weapon. Again, I said we wouldn't talk about the sequel, but that's what ends up happening.
Right.
Is they
the
want to use
beginning of
them finding it. So it's the corporation that's evil. It's the corporation that's cold. It's the corporation that doesn't give a shit about the people on the ship.
It's all about making money.
How can we exploit this situation to make money for them?
Yeah.
And it's
or win wars or whatever.
No, that's literally what it is. That's probably the most obvious theme of this. There's another big theme that I'm gonna have to bring up here in a second, but.
Well, I mean, at first I was like, well, what's the whole point of going rescue these people? These people are like, I thought you just when they would get middle or like precious or you know what I mean? I think that's the point of their job.
Well, I think it's more so like if we were out, like let's say we were on a mission transport something somewhere.
Yeah.
A trucker, and then we get like an alien crashes somewhere near us. We would want to go investigate. But you're thinking like out in these huge reaches of space, that is going to be more valuable than anything you're hauling. Contact with another life form. So if something out there sending out an SOS, and we're like, well, we like legally, you got to think about it like this. Let's say the United States government says that if you contract to go and do this job, you have to follow these criteria.
Okay.
Part of that criteria is if there's an SOS, because you're the only one, you have to at least go investigate.
Oh, okay.
That's why they go.
So it's like you said, corporation orders, and you have to.
Yeah. Because I mean, it's sad because that's kind of what businesses do.
It's realistic, yeah.
Kind of in a smaller scale, not so exaggerated like this.
I don't know. I think it's I think it runs deep.
Yeah.
Countries topple because of corporations' choices.
True. You know, you have like
these are real life people that get.
Yeah, they. I mean,
did you guys hear about? This is going to sound like it's way off topic, but like, did you hear about that one family that got sued because they were growing a certain type of potato?
No.
So because of how crazy corporation is, and this is kind of capitalism run rampant, is like, so I think it's Frito-Lay. It's Frito-Lay or it's McDonald's or it's somebody that owns a specific gene of potato. Only McDonald's or only Frito-Lay or only whoever. We'll look it up. I'll make a timestamp or something because like I don't know all the details, but this happened where they sued some family because they were growing that potato, and it was like some family in like Bangladesh or something. It was like some poor family growing potatoes, crazy. And they were like, "You cannot. We own the patent on that potato. You cannot grow that." And you go, what in the hell's going on here?
That's wild.
That is crazy.
And you go, that's what happens when you let companies just do whatever the fuck they want. That's what happens when you don't have regulations on business, is they fuck people over. That's an insane, that's like dystopian. And that really happened, and that was recent.
Jeez.
And I think they
I'm not gonna get French fries anymore.
If you're not gonna win, you're not gonna the corporations.
You're not
gonna win against them.
Yeah, no, hell no.
You're not gonna win against them. So yeah, that's kind of like.
This is what that is. It's like, hey,
it's an example.
You have to go respond
you get
to that.
I very much picked up on the fact that that's kind of what one of the themes of this movie is. It's sort of criticizing unregulated like corporations.
I never saw it that way. Like,
well, yeah, because
I saw.
It's a horror movie.
I thought to me it was more like the machine, like the droid and the mother. We're out to like, hey, they're humans.
Well, yeah, but you know what's crazy is that like I mean I get that and I see that, and I guess I'm so aware that corporations are like that.
Yeah,
it's like, and that's a pretty normal theme I think in movies. I think there's a lot of movies that kind of have like that corporate. You know, powers over everything. So like to me, like yes, I think you're right, but also I was like, it didn't aid my enjoyment of the film more. I enjoyed more of a, you know, kind of like what you're saying, like the kind of like a monster movie kind of thing.
That's exactly, you know, like I was like
watching it in that mindset. I think I enjoyed it better
because like Ash seemed so like I was like, no, we have to study this. We have to like we want to kill y'all off. Like you know what I mean. One by one, and then she beats.
Well, she doesn't want to kill. She doesn't want to kill. He doesn't want to kill the crew. It just doesn't matter if they die.
Right. And an android.
If it means like them blasting it out into space or incinerating it or ruining the sample or whatever, then fuck the crew.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's crazy. That's like you know when they that's a military thing too, where it's like. Do you get mad at the soldier for committing the atrocity, or do you get mad at the person making the orders? Like, where is the actual bad thing happening? Like, is it the corporation? Is it both? Is it the person pulling the trigger? Is it? Can you always say no? Like, are you being tested morally if you tell your boss to go fuck themselves because they're asking you to?
Yeah.
Because they're asking.
I mean, you should be able to. You really should.
Yeah.
But that's not how.
That's not what happens.
Yeah.
No. Yeah. I feel like some companies might. You know.
I don't know.
So this movie is more about corporations. Just
it's not about that. It's a theme. It's subtext.
Yeah.
It's
like I was.
You can watch this movie and never think about that. Just like we talked about The Exorcist. and it's just an exorcism movie. But then when I told you about, hey,
Yeah, I
Regan
never saw it.
might have been
Now
molested.
I'm gonna go watch it and want to see the corporations.
Oh, yeah.
of it.
Yeah, and then you watch Exorcist, and you're gonna see,
Yeah.
hey, maybe something happened to her, and it's sort of exploring the horror of that. This is
See that-
but there's another bigger theme about this movie that
Man.
we can really get into right now.
Let's do it, dude.
But I don't know if you guys are ready to do
I'm
that.
fine. Let's do it. I mean,
Okay.
that's what we're talking about.
So and I can't take credit for like coming up with this. I heard about this, and then once I heard about it, I couldn't stop seeing it. So shout out to Rob Ager. He does videos on analysis and film, and he did a whole episode about this. And I saw this years ago. I didn't watch it like right before we did this to shout out on it. But I would be doing us as a show disservice if we didn't bring it up because we're talking about it and I know about it. And I would be doing Rob Ager a disservice by not shouting you out. So anybody watching this, I didn't steal it from him. I'm just explaining something he happened to open my eyes to.
Yeah.
So this movie, the other theme about this movie is it's like kind of a four-pronged thing where it's the horrors of sex, the horrors of pregnancy, the horrors of rape. And you go, that's weird, how? But then you start thinking little details about it, and then you start noticing that there's a lot of sexual innuendo in there, and it's horrific. So the big one is, of course, the design of the monster. The design of the grown alien. Even the little one looks phallic.
Yeah, very. Yeah.
The little one does.
Yeah.
The big one has a big dick as a head.
I never saw that. That's crazy.
I'm going to show you. We have an H.R. Giger art book here.
Yeah.
We'll open it up so Art can see that, and I don't know how. Maybe I'll clip something up here so you guys can see it because I'm not going to walk it up to the camera. But it's pretty obvious that it's a big dick.
So
Yeah,
how about
is.
the spider like guy in the guy's face?
Is that supposed to represent like rape?
rape?
Well, there's a couple of rapey scenes. When the alien kills, what's the girl's name that isn't Ripley?
I don't even know.
Whatever her name is, the short-haired girl.
Yeah, the one that's very always scared all the time.
She's the scared one. So there's a scene when the alien gets her. What do you see when he's creeping up on her? The tail going in between her legs and coming up.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
And then she's like, ah, and then she gets eaten or whatever. So that's there. There's the scene where Ash, the robot, is deciding that he decides that Ripley's expendable, so he goes to kill her because she called him out for being evil and whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And she's got herself in that corner, and on the wall, there's pornography. There's pictures of naked women.
Oh, yeah.
There's a picture of an egg.
Oh.
Like sunny side up eggs. There's a picture of eggs for some reason. I'll show you. And
I
then,
believe you.
Yeah,
I just think it's
it's a really weird
strange
detail.
that they
And
had
then
that.
how does Ash try to kill her then? Before all the crew comes and gets him off.
By choking her?
Right, how?
I know.
He folds up a porn mag.
Oh yeah, and shoves her throat down her throat.
Oh, yeah.
Forces it in her throat.
Oh my
Forces
goodness,
it in her mouth.
man. Oh.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Yeah.
Yeah. And so there's
So
like
you think that this was...
there's an unwanted pregnancy vibe to this. There's like the cycle of like motherhood kind of thing. And the alien is a weird version of that with the fact that it lays an egg, and then the thing that comes out has to make the baby go into you, and then it pops out of your chest and it becomes its own thing, and then that lays an egg. So there's like it even doesn't reproduce the way we reproduce. So there's another fear of it sort of sexually doing stuff to you that's like wrong.
That's crazy.
There's
It's crazy because you watch this film, you don't really think it's
at
least
all.
for me, I don't think it's a sexual movie
At all, man. I never.
But you bring that up, and
I can see it
yeah,
now.
I can see it. Yeah, I could definitely
Like-
see it.
Like I was like, man, I never thought of that.
it's called Mother,
Yeah,
Yeah, that's true. Yeah,
there is a lot of like, yeah,
and then This is maybe
So,
this is,
so what is the mother though? Is mother not that? Mother's not the ship. Mother's like
yeah, Mother's the ship. Mother's the brain of the ship.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I understood it as. Yeah.
It's like the Siri of your phone.
Okay.
Yep.
I mean, that's just I'm just trying to make a
No,
parallel.
it
Yeah.
makes sense. Yeah.
I get it.
Like it's the AI that runs it, I guess.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Mother's calling you again.
Yeah, and then there's God, I felt like there was like one more thing that's like connected to that. Oh, that because it's about like rape and like unwanted pregnancies, like how do they get rid of the monster?
They flush him out.
They abort it.
Damn it, bro.
Yeah. Yeah.
So do you think that the filmmakers had this? Think so?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Because why make the head of the alien a big dick? Why does she save the cat at the
And
end?
being honest with you,
Why does she
seeing
make sure her
that,
pussy's
I
safe?
never picture a dick. Like, you
Why
know,
did she make her? Wow.
you know what I mean? Like, seeing that doesn't picture a dick to my head. Like,
Might as well look at it now.
Okay, but
y'all keep
that-
talking. I'll find it because
that-
there's a picture of it. In
So
here.
I was thinking other things too about them. Because you told me before we had shot, you were like, "Hey, there's this, underlying theme on Aliens." So I was like, "Oh, dude, I really want to try to figure it out." I didn't, but
You kind of did with the idea of AI and the that's why can't that be a theme also?
yeah. So I had this other idea,
I think that was
dude. It's a straight up. That's a
okay. Yeah, that one.
But no,
looks-
in the movie,
No,
whenever you catch it sideways and the like light shines behind it, it's for like a half a second. It looks like that.
okay, that one does look like a penis. Like
Yeah, it's a
straight
dick.
up
It's a
is.
dick. Yeah.
yeah.
like in the movie. I guess I didn't pay attention to that. I was just more into the action.
No, you're
and,
not supposed to be.
yeah.
These things are like it's upon rewatch. It's upon discussion where you go,
Yeah.
oh, that was kind of weird. Like
And
with
that's
when
why
you
you
notice
can-
the eye in Blade Runner.
Yeah,
Like
oh,
there's,
yes,
you
yeah.
know, like you could just watch it and be like, the guy's got to kill androids and just take it as that, and that's fine.
Yeah.
And it's going to be enjoyable or it isn't. You can watch this as a horror movie in space, and that's
Yeah.
enjoyable enough.
That's why these types of films you can rewatch over and over. At least for me, I can rewatch these types of movies
Yeah.
and never get old.
Yeah.
Yeah, now I'm gonna watch it again.
And you can take because that's the beauty about how art just works is that you can take, let's say that I were writing a paper about the fears of capitalism. Let's say I'm in college and I'm like really into that stuff right
Yeah.
now, and I decide to do a paper on this movie, and I write, the corporate whatever, and then I bring up the fact that the Frito-Lay's do this thing, and it's like kind of this equal, people are expendable,
Yeah.
countries are toppled because of outrageous capitalism and whatever, and you can make a whole write a paper on this movie and showing the themes of that. You can still take the same movie and write about feminism,
Yeah.
and you can go, this is how a female protagonist should be written. This is why this is how this works. This is a woman that's treated as an equal, and she's still doubted. But then you can make all
Yeah.
these points about it, and then you can take it and go, this movie's about
See,
the fear of sex and the fear of motherhood and the fear of this, and you can write a whole paper about just that. So the best pieces of art you could look at through different lenses.
Oh yeah.
And they can still
I
all
looked
make
in
sense.
the lens like how you were saying, like the androids, the machines were
Yeah.
out to like extinct humans. You know what I
Right.
mean? But
I was also thinking.
like, because why you let them in? Why do you like? You know what I mean? How come you don't listen to the? She's a captain, right? She's the second. When Dallas dies, she's the second.
And she says, when Dallas and Kane are not in the ship, I'm the one in charge. Or
then-
it might not be Kane, but it's
Kane's
she's
the one
there's
that
two
gets-
people ahead
yeah.
of her, and she gets the responsibilities
she's,
when,
like,
when
next to
something
them.
if something happens to one of them, she's the one that
She's-
calls the
okay.
shots.
So I had this other idea. It's a kind of a stretch. It might be interesting.
None
might
of this
not.
stuff is stretches.
Well,
now
I
that you see it, like you said, that there's different. You can put the same story to like
Oh, yeah.
different visions.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Like now, like exactly when I'm
Like-
gonna go see it again, I'm all like,
Like
I
is
wanna see
Lonesome
that
Lonesome
again.
Dove is Lonesome Dove a coming of age story? Yes.
Yes. Yeah.
Is it a story about best friends?
Yes.
yeah.
Is it a story about the American West and
Yeah.
expansion?
Yeah.
It's everything.
Yeah.
It can be all of those things. The best stories are.
That's true. And-
There are multiple things.
Yeah.
There's multiple reasons to care. Like, I believe it or not, I did not dislike any character in this. I thought the actor that did the android was phenomenal.
Oh, dude,
That guy was so creepy.
And
The actor, when you find out, dude, I wish I could watch this movie for the first time again, because when you watch this movie, you go, okay, there's an alien and it's gonna kill them or whatever, and that's like the fear of this movie.
Yeah,
He's
way scarier,
Yeah.
but like what you don't expect. You don't expect that he's an android.
No.
That comes out of nowhere.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I'll be honest with you, when I was younger, I didn't even.
I wish I could see it for the
I
first
didn't
time and just
pay-
be like, Ash is a fucking android.
I didn't pay
Yeah.
attention to that. I didn't pay attention to that stuff. You know what I mean? So that's what I was like, man, like, he's an android. It's like, didn't we just finish watching you know what I mean? Like, the older art was like, oh shit, the whole time he's an android. And like when you told me the same person wrote it, I was like,
No, it's not the same
Oh,
person.
directed.
Yeah.
And I was all like, okay, I can start seeing it now. Like I saw.
Because I feel like this idea of an alien life form like being somewhere it's not supposed to be and then it like terrorizing the crew or whatever, I think that's a pretty old idea. I think that they've written science fiction stories in the 50s that were like about a crew finding a weird alien and then some bad shit happens. This is not a new concept.
No,
it wasn't a new concept in 1976. When did this come out? Let's say 19. Fuck it, it's 1976.
I thought this movie came out in the 80s.
I thought it was in the 80s.
Are you sure?
I thought so too.
Are you sure?
Oh, maybe. It looks pretty 70s.
It looks very 70s.
Yeah.
I don't know for sure. I'll look.
hairstyles and
Okay.
stuff. So I was going to say
It's
that.
like 79?
I don't know. What were we gonna say?
So one thing that I was thinking about this movie is that.
1979.
Oh, wow. Dang. Good shit.
Well, it
So
had
I
to
was
be a little
thinking
bit
that-
more in the 80s, you know what I mean?
That the mother is representative of like Mother Earth. So, and all the crew members are different types of society. And
Like Dallas is a city.
no, not like that. But
What the? I kind of see what you're
No,
doing.
go on. I'm just.
So,
I had to throw a joke in.
you know, Ripley's character is very, because there are, you know, in our societies, there's a lot of people that are, you know, gonna tear this world apart. But there's also people that won't, that have, you know, that think of logic and think appropriately, and you know, they're kind of the voice of reason. And so I was trying to fill in these types of, you know, themes that Ripley's like the voice of reason. Mother
I can see
Earth
that.
is, it's like if you kind of think of it like the ship is like the Earth, and Mother Earth is a bitch. And at the very end, she goes, I guess she's trying to like blow up the ship or something.
She's like, you fucking bitch.
She's like, oh, you bitch. And so I was like, oh man, like
she's
Mother
yelling
Earth-
at the computer.
Yeah.
yeah, and it's like Mother Earth can be a bitch. Like
Yeah.
there's hurricanes, there's sandstorms, there's these like
that's
tornadoes,
okay.
there's all these kinds of things. And so like I was thinking like, okay, Mother Earth brought this alien to eradicate the people, the virus that is our, you know, that is causing the destruction of Earth.
Yeah.
You know? And so Ripley's supposed to represent the good of people, the voice of reason, but it's kind of a stretch, and you know.
Yeah, I don't know that I saw the Mother Earth theme. I think if they did a scene where like they sit in a room, they've done this in like, I feel like this is more of a modern thing in movies, where if there's a spaceship that's way out there, that they always like have a room that seems like Earth. Like they'll have plants or something in there to like simulate being on Earth, because you start to miss it
Yeah.
if you're not there. So if they had that, then I could see that parallel kind of.
I don't think this is not what, but I
You
was
were
just
like
like to,
trying to fit
I
that
was like,
in
I
there.
wonder, like,
Well, you know what's funny is maybe that is true, that it is Mother Earth and she can be a bitch, but the thing that fits that maybe even more is Ripley starts the self-destruction. She starts it.
yeah,
So it was through human action that Earth
true,
threw her out.
yeah. I really love the design of this movie, like with what's his name, H.R.
Giger.
Giger, and like the fact that like the alien kind of looks like the ship. Oh, I just love that, dude. Like the tail and stuff, doesn't, like all of it just looks. And if you watch the movie, you can see like the design on the walls and stuff. It's super. It looks just like the alien everywhere.
I really like the design of the movie too. Like it's very awesome. It's not CGI like you were saying. Like
Yeah, even
I
though
really do love it.
some
Like,
of the
I'm-
shots make it look a little cheap. As far as
to me, like the only cheap was.
no, I'm talking about the alien. Like when it pops out, it scoots across the table. You're like,
Oh, that looks dumb. Yeah,
but I would prefer to see that than CG.
Then CG. Oh,
yeah,
I would
exactly.
prefer-
Or like also when the thing goes out to the window and like she's about to, floating. I got
yeah, that is true. It is kind of.
That was like the
Hey,
funny part.
1979. That's amazing.
Oh yeah, dude.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I was like, man, like
It almost looked in an alternate universe what the future would look like. Because when it starts and it's like and that's kind of like whenever I was criticizing Blade Runner for being slow, this moves kind of slow. The pace is slow, but it's not boring for me. But watching it and like
The very beginning.
it goes to remember that shot with the helmet?
In the beginning it's real slow, but then
The
it gets
helmet
better.
is really reflective, and then the computer kicks on, and then you see the words written on the helmet.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
Mhm.
I was like, dude, this is like that's great.
Oh yeah.
I was like,
cinematography is
just the
incredible.
look of it. I was like, damn, dude.
Oh, yeah.
Like who did the storyboard of that? It's like, no, we want to have like the helmet there, and then the computer comes on, and then you see the reflection in the helmet.
reflection in the
That's so
helmet,
cool.
yeah.
Yeah.
That was cool. That's when they were waking
Like
up.
when they
right?
were waking up and the pods open,
Yeah.
and like that's how white it was
Mhm.
in contrast to like the rest of it.
Man, that's kinda
where they
sick.
sit and eat looks like a sci-fi kitchen almost.
Yeah. I love
It was
those. I love
really
the scene in
cool.
the kitchen.
Yeah, me too.
Oh,
Those
the
two
kitchen
scenes.
scene?
Yes. I love
Dude,
this kitchen
okay, so what I heard as far as like behind the scenes stuff, that they didn't tell that girl, what the hell is her name, the one with the short hair,
You got me, bro.
girl number 2, not Ripley.
Not Ripley,
Not
yeah.
Ripley was not told. You have them written down, right?
Yeah, I don't-
So not Ripley was not told that when the chest thing comes out, that it was gonna spray blood on her.
Oh.
So
I think I heard that too.
the scene you see when she like reacts,
That's a real reaction.
it's a real reaction. They didn't tell her it was gonna happen.
Oh man.
Gosh, dude.
And it looks like it too.
Yeah, you can tell.
What a
she's
great
freaked out.
dude! What a great scene.
Dude, that scene. I would put that up there as like top 10. Like
It's the
horror.
most. That's one of the
like-
most iconic scenes in movies.
Yeah,
Period.
yeah. I think it's close. It's up there, man. Because I mean, it's and just the who thought of this, bro? Like,
I might
very,
not have
very-
if I were directing it or if I was in charge of it. I probably would not have like kept the camera on it for too long because it almost like looks around and it squeaks at the camera and you're like, okay, that was a little bit.
It
too
could have.
much.
It could have maybe.
Maybe
had
for
like
a second, maybe had it rotate for a second, and that's it.
Yeah,
Just
I could see
looking
that.
at the camera and being like, "Meh." I was like, damn it! I was in such a. It was perfectly,
Yeah.
like it was working perfectly.
If
All
they
the
just
beats
shaved
worked.
off those
A couple of seconds of
and then,
it
would've
on
been
the
good.
table. I'm
I
like,
really don't
It's
like the way
still
how
horrifying.
Dallas dies. I don't like the way he dies. Like Dallas when he was stuck in the vents, he was going through.
I kind of liked that. That's how he died. He went saying, "Fuck it, I'm taking responsibility. I'm gonna go do it." And
You
he
should
dies.
at least fight him or hurt him. You know what I mean? That is to me was a
You
cool
know,
character.
you know what I found out
I
about
liked
Art
that.
is Art doesn't like Art always wants the tough guy
to be tough and to be like the
At
to,
least-
go,
at least-
to go out fighting.
Yeah, like
go-
at
yeah,
least
gun
damage
swinging.
him or something.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That is true. I've noticed
Or-
that.
He did.
or
That's the
burn
only.
him.
That's the only acceptable way that someone can die for Art. It doesn't.
Hey man, if I'm tough, I want to hurt him at least if I want to die. You know what I mean? I want to wound him.
Well, the
or
point is
something.
this thing. Well, because it's when Ash is doing the stuff and he's like, dude, they have acid for blood. And they
Yeah,
have,
that's-
and he
yeah.
goes,
Yeah.
their skin turns to like this
That's
hardened
an awesome
hardened
defense
silica.
mechanism,
Yeah,
yeah.
so you think, okay, that's the face hugger thing. What do you think this huge? Shooting fire at him would have done nothing.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah, and then you also did like I just thought of this right now. Let's say they did kill him. If that blood were to get
And
go all the way, there's a bunch.
Yeah.
And because there's that whole scene where they're like, "Oh, it's gonna go through the whole."
And it's
through
just
the
from
hole."
a finger.
Yeah, like dude.
Can you imagine if they like cut the arm off of the big one, and it bled everywhere?
Yeah,
Like they would have been sucked out into space.
I just love to hear. I see like a strong person. Hey, fuck! I'm gonna kill your ass. Like you know what I mean? Go out with
Damn,
that.
maybe we should do a one in the second one because there's a cool scene in the second one where they do that. Did you like the second one?
Yeah, I
Did you
did.
like the
actually.
second one?
I think I love the action of very much of it.
You know, when I was a kid, I liked Aliens better. The second one, I like the second one where it's like more action.
I prefer
Yeah.
the first one.
But now that I'm
Well, the first
older,
one- what I like
those
about-
first
yeah.
ones they're both very good.
Yes, both. Yeah, both of them are.
But I prefer the first one. I prefer the kind of sci-fi slow.
Yeah,
The
sets it
second
up.
one is very much an action movie.
Yeah, very
Yeah.
action movie. I was raised with action movies. I love action movies.
Yeah.
Like I love like how
And
I always think like the hero guy needs to at least die going with hurting someone. I guess that's why I like watching that, because I love action.
And that's like the true like formula for action movies, and I get that, but it's also kind of cool when things aren't quite like that, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Really
I think
realistic.
whenever a chick is like, "Oh, my husband wants to watch Die Hard" or whatever, they kind of roll their eyes at action movies. I think that's part of the reason why, because they just on the surface they're just dumb.
Yeah, it's like hoorah!
Yeah, and like chicks just roll their eyes at it.
Yeah.
When we're kind of just going like, "Fuck, I want to watch this guy fight."
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think, didn't you say that Jessica liked Lonesome Dove?
Yeah.
And you know why? Because it's not like an action movie.
No,
Well,
it's not.
It's not an action movie.
You care about the characters.
And
Yeah.
the stuff is realistic. So
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
I think in a movie
Well,
like
I like
this,
Old Country for Man because of the realistic of it too. Like,
Yeah.
like there was a hero, but you thought he was gonna live, and he dies. Like, you know what I mean? Like that's
and
realistic.
not by the antagonist.
Yeah, exactly.
By just random cartel
Right,
people.
by random cartel people. Like something that would be real. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Something that's actually real.
In this, tell me that everything was at least believable.
Yes.
And see, that was my problem with Prey a lot, and I
In
started to keep
Alien?
harping back to
Alien,
Prey.
yeah, everything is very.
In Prey, again, I don't want to like fucking beat on it up too much, but like I didn't believe any of it. This, I believed all of it. They sell all the points that were made, aside from like some of the dumb decisions. But as far as like Ripley, you believe she's intelligent enough to get away.
Yeah.
You believe that these guys don't disrespect her because she's a woman, but they kind of blow her off because that guy that doesn't listen to her when they're down at the bottom, and he turns the steam on and off, and they're kind of fucking with them, fucking with her.
Mm-hmm.
That guy isn't just acting like that because she's a lady.
He acts like that with everybody.
He's like that with everybody.
Yeah.
He tells Ash, "Hey, get up, get out of my seat."
Yeah, you're in my seat. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. So like it illustrates like this guy's just like that.
Right.
You don't get the vibe that
It's
because she's
not
a lady.
gender. It's not.
Yeah, it's not gender.
Yeah.
So like, as far as that, you believe that the corporation would behave like that. You believe a cold android would act like
never thought
that.
about
You
the corporation
believe
at all.
that the leader Dallas could make a decision that fucks everyone up.
Yeah.
That is the risk of leadership.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that you make a bad call and it fucks everyone's shit
Yeah.
up.
And all leaders aren't the same, you know.
Yep.
You know, you were saying how you were like, you know, he doesn't support Ripley and stuff. Leaders are like that, you know. They're like, oh, I'm in this position, but I'm just taking this job, and hey, he's in the science division. I'm gonna let him worry about
Yeah,
that.
dude,
You know,
you
I
just
don't.
think-
That's not my forte, and I'm not gonna pretend like I know. And that's kind of legit.
Well,
how
isn't his
leaders
job
are.
is to make sure the ship is okay and then have.
Sure, yeah, but like you're saying, it's not all leaders are good leaders.
Ripley was like that. She was like more concerned, like, "Hey, we just brought something on this ship that we have no."
Well,
clue."
and it wasn't just her. It's the other guys were like, "What the hell?" The engineers.
yeah.
Yeah, they were
like, "What the fuck?"
like, yeah, dude, don't.
And that's realistic too, because I've definitely looked at like bad decisions my bosses have made before, and I was like,
Yeah.
"Why would you do something so stupid?"
Yeah, if something would have, I was like, dude, we don't have no clue what we just brought. in
And
the
you
ship.
just got to accept it as someone who's on the lower part of the totem pole.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, yeah.
So it's like, again, everything is believable about this.
Yeah.
You go everything from like the decisions made to the way it plays out.
Yeah.
Like Dallas doesn't go out in a blaze of glory because that's not how it would work. The thing would overpower him, and he would not have a shot with that little flare gun, that little
Yeah, the
flamethrower.
flamethrower they had, yeah.
Yeah.
He was gonna do
And
shit to that
it
alien.
would also be kind of like, to me, like, whenever
Have a-
action movies or horror movies kind of go like that guns blazing thing, to me, it takes away from the film. Because, like,
They gotta make the alien look like he's more dominant, like more scary.
I just
more-
like to see a little bit of it. I feel like this movie does it well, you know? Like, there's really no, like, you know, hand-to-hand combat with the alien, like,
Yeah.
at all.
No,
I
there's
don't
not.
think.
No, they try to use
There's
like
not.
the air ducts to like trap it somewhere.
Trap him inside,
I mean, it's intelligence,
to me,
it's
that's-
planning,
and
it's
cook-
To me,
Yeah.
that's more interesting. rather
yeah,
than,
that's
like,
way more interesting.
Then like, okay, cool, it's a showdown. It's like, all right, here we go. You know, fighting, and oh, he takes an arm off. There's acid. Like, yeah, that's kind of cool. I would have turned my brain off and just watch that, but I don't know. That's just me.
I think it would have worked for a different type of movie. For a movie that
Yeah.
was trying to sell itself like this, it wouldn't work. Because if we watched everything is the same, and then there's like that one scene where Dallas maybe like does some he has like some quip or some one liner, and then does something like that, I would have been like, man, this movie's dumb. And Art's like, that would have been my favorite movie.
Yeah. Yippee-ki-yay.
I get dude. Art, I get it. That because you know what I love about you, bro.
Something.
You know what I love about you is that you're just being real, dude.
Yeah.
And you just wanted to see some action.
Yeah.
That's,
I mean,
there's nothing wrong with that.
I love the storyline. I love everything. I just like he just kills all of them like nothing. Like, you know what I mean?
Wait.
Like,
So do you like the second one better then?
I don't want to talk about the second one. Like,
do you like the second one better?
yes, I love this.
You like it better than the first one?
Well, I'm
shocked,
I'm
it's
more
action.
Yeah, it's more action to it.
There is more action.
Oh, we have a cat down here. If he jumps on the table,
Whatever.
peppers on. But yes, I
That's
love
surprising.
action
Wow.
movies. But there's a good storyline. I never thought of the corporation thing. I never thought of, like, motherhood and rape scenes and stuff like that. I never saw that. I didn't pick. I was more with him, like, the androids were more like out to get.
Right.
I was like, I want to destroy these humans, and like, this is something cool like we have found and anything like this.
Yeah.
This would definitely eat all them up. That's how I was thinking, like, because even the mother, tells them like, hey, you got to go down and investigate what's going on. Like, that's your mission. You know what I mean? That's what has to happen.
The idea of them going to look at the planet where this SOS or whatever is, and then you see that crash ship.
Yeah.
And then that thing is like fossilized. That makes you ask more questions than it answers. That makes you go, like, at least me, because I'm very inquisitive. I want to like find out what's going on.
Yeah.
And of course, over time, I think they've explored that in other alien movies that they keep making. I don't care. But let's say that this was just his self-contained thing. There was this alien, and then he never did anything in that franchise again. That adds another element of horror, I think. I don't know how humanity would do if we for sure found out there was aliens. For sure, there's no question.
How Alien looks.
Maybe it doesn't matter how it looks. The idea that there's an alien out there that has a spaceship.
If it looks like that, we'll be afraid.
Not like I'm talking about the one that
was fossilized.
Not the one that acts like an animal.
Oh, okay.
Not the animal one. I'm talking about the ones that had civilization and had technology and had.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm talking about that, and they don't really explore it too much in Alien.
They don't.
But
Prometheus
that makes me.
right?
Well, I don't. Yeah, we're definitely not talking about Prometheus. That idea is really scary to me. I don't think humanity would be able to handle it that well. We can't even handle having a political discussion like with your friends sometimes and family. You can barely get through some of those things.
Yeah.
You're gonna tell me a whole ass race
alien.
of people you can't trying to figure out how to work with.
I
something
really
that
love the fact that their blood is acid. I don't know why.
It's cool.
It's so cool. If you take me out, I'm taking you out with me.
Oh yeah, the other unwanted pregnancy idea is whenever Kane gets it lays the thing in him.
God, I can't. It's horrifying. Man.
Yeah.
It's so.
And then like he gets up normal. Like you think like this thing had something stuck in his face the whole time. Like how is he normal? Like
yeah, but that sense of relief, and they're like sitting around joking, and the guy goes, "Oh man, like come on, man, the food ain't that bad."
Yeah,
dude.
And you feel like that's. I feel like that's how you would say you talk to me.
Yeah.
I feel like if I were like starting to cough or something, where we had just been
That's why I
joking,
like Parker.
that he would have said
dude,
something like that to me, or
100%.
one of you, or we would have said it to one
As
another.
soon as when he's like, let's talk about this.
Oh, that's art in the
situation.
movie. That's art in the movie. Because whenever that shit happens to Dallas, he's like, "No, we're getting this thing."
Yeah, he did.
He gets the flamethrower.
That's why he's my favorite character.
That's you.
So, like,
And you would also say, dude, just freeze him, bro.
It's like, why don't they freeze him?
Yeah.
Put him in the freezer. Come
Yeah.
on.
And instead of the bandana, he's got the San Antonio Spurs, the cap. He's got this hat on. Hey, why don't they freeze him?
Yeah, why don't we freeze him, bro? He's like, let's get this guy.
Yeah, that's you, bro.
No.
He was my favorite character.
And you'd be like,
He's honestly, that character's really well written.
oh yeah.
I mean,
And then Dallas, he goes in the air ducts. You're like, no, I don't want to go to the air ducts again. I do that every day.
Oh no! Yeah.
and he goes in there. I was like, how you gonna get out, bro? Like, you're stuck in there. That thing moves quicker than you in those things.
The dumb move, bro.
Yeah, to me that was a dumb move.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
I know they were trying to trap him in the vents.
Yeah,
and
they were
then
trying
burn
to
him
like
up.
put him
So
somewhere.
he was like the bait.
Corner
You know
him.
what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was brave as hell though.
Yeah, it was. It was brave. I'm not gonna say it was.
It was brave as hell.
There was something that I would not do that. Okay, who's next? I'm not going in. I got your back, bro.
Yeah, I think this is
It's a great movie, man.
This is one of those movies that,
movie.
like, wow, I'm glad that we all liked it because I was going to be like,
it's
damn,
like
is one of us going to be
dude.
here sitting here
It's
going?
you're the first one and the second one are the best ones, like for being.
Yeah, I would forget any other movie. Maybe we could do a pod on aliens at some point.
Yeah, I think.
It'd be fun to kind of chit chat about because there's some themes in that one, guys.
Yes, a lot.
We
I'm
can
down.
talk about
Yeah,
some. There's
I'm
actually, I didn't want to like kind of get bogged down in talking about the sequel for this episode, but I think we should do aliens.
You know, it's funny.
I don't want to do the third one.
We'll skip all the other ones.
Yeah, that's only the second one.
The second one would be badass to talk about.
Oh yeah.
Oh, dude, there's a lot of action in that one. I love.
There's
that.
a lot of action.
Art's like,
but
yes, I'm ready for that one.
There's a lot of action.
I'm telling you,
you might
action's
be
been in my family
you might be
so much.
surprised about some of the themes too. And we'll discuss it because I think that there's some pretty interesting things that happen.
That's cool. I'm
'Cause
down.
there's actually a parallel, and I've always thought about this. There's a parallel between Alien, Terminator, and then Terminator 2 and Aliens. There's like those are two movies that started off being a specific type of thing. Terminator is kind of also a sci-fi horror movie.
Yeah.
How is it not? It's like Michael Myers, but it's a tech Michael Myers.
Yeah.
The first one, yes.
The first one, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
So it's a horror movie, and then the second movie is all action, just like Aliens.
That is so true. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Because the first one he was trying to kill.
Yeah, it's like Halloween, but with a Austrian bodybuilder.
Yeah.
Get to the
I love the first one. The first one was pretty good.
Yeah.
The first one was pretty good.
Uh-huh.
Of Terminator. But anyways, Alien was good. It's a good
Terminator
movie.
2 is really good.
Oh, dude, I like Terminator 2 better than the first.
You like Terminator 2 better? I like them both, but I don't know if I'd have to watch them again.
Yeah.
But
I
there's definitely a parallel between those two where it's like they start off being a specific thing, and then they became something different. Yeah. They took that character and like they somehow made him even deeper and more interesting in a way, and managed to make the sequels action movies. It's pretty interesting. Like if you actually look at them like parallels like that.
I'll have to rewatch Terminator again.
The first one?
The first one. It's very forgetful. Terminator 1 was very forgetful for me.
It's actually pretty badass, bro. I love it. Now I can kind of see like how you say Michael Myers, like he's chasing her around and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But the Australian bodybuilder.
The what?
The Australian bodybuilder. He's
Austrian.
Austrian.
Australia.
Arnold.
Crocky, baby.
Arnie, we should maybe do a pod on Arnie. I fucking love Arnie, dude.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. I don't know if y'all know that, but I freaking love Arnold.
I did not know that.
I don't maybe like necessarily maybe not all of his movies, but I think I really like him as a person. I think he's like his personality. He's really funny.
I've never really known much about
Just the idea of him
person.
being like a bricklayer, and then just being like how many times did he won Mr. Olympia? I don't know how many times.
Was it 5 times?
Multiple times. Like that's like the most prestigious bodybuilding tournament. That's a
Yeah.
He's like the best one. He was the best one for a long time. Well, I don't want to sit here and talk about Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yeah,
too much,
but
dude, I don't know. That's crazy that y'all didn't know about that.
no, I didn't.
I really like Arnold
yeah,
Schwarzenegger.
that's true. I didn't know that.
He's fucking cool. He just came from nothing. Multi-million-dollar star, became a governor. Like what the fuck? That's such a weird.
That is random.
Yeah.
I heard his accent is like, I guess like a poor Austrian accent or something.
Yeah. No shit.
Something like that.
Well, it's like, you know how like in England they have like the high class posh English
Yeah,
accent, and then
yeah,
there's
yeah.
the shitty one. I can't do accent. I'm not even gonna attempt it here. But
I want to hear it now.
Yeah, I know, right?
okay, well, give me something to say. I'll try.
Say pip pip cheerio.
Pip pip cheerio.
Hey, that wasn't bad. That wasn't bad.
What the hell says pip pip cheerio?
Pip, pip,
That's like the-
cheerio.
Let's get a sporty then.
There you go. That was pretty good.
All right, I think we've kind of reached the end here, guys. I
Yeah.
think that was really
Yeah.
fun. Is there any other points that you guys want to make before we shut it down?
Just watch it and
Yeah, people will love this movie.
watch
This
it with
movie's
the
awesome.
lens of that, the whole pregnancy, rape, and
The next time you watch it, because of course, if you're watching this, you've seen the movie already. We didn't want
But
to
rewatch
spoil
it,
anything. Rewatch it. Show this movie some love.
Show
Chorizo Bros some love.
I want to go see
Rewatch
it.
Rewatch it.
Just to see that. Like, just to see that.
So, on that note, guys, we'll go ahead and we'll get out of here. This might be the first episode where we're going to kind of close out, and I wanted to say that we actually know what we're going to do our next one on, because we hadn't done that before. We kind of left it open-ended. But we're going to come back at you guys with another Cormac McCarthy novel, The Road. There's a movie about that, so we'll watch that. We're gonna read The Road. So that's probably what our next pod's gonna be on. I might actually do another book review in between now and then, and we're gonna be even in a newer spot. So the next one might even look so different than this.
I can't wait. That's gonna be cool.
But on that note, guys, we're gonna thank you so much for joining us, and if you've gotten here, thank you again, Matt and Kennedy.
Thanks, Matt.
We love you. We straight up love you guys, man. But yeah, come back and see us again soon, y'all.
Love and subscribe.
Like and subscribe, baby.
Salute.